He was a man, they say he was simple. He took less than a day had time. You could see in his eyes just what he lived for.
Hey everybody, Trapper Dan out on the trap line. Thanks for watching, by the way. I try to keep these under half an hour. I think I average about 25 minutes or so. But hey, I appreciate that you're putting your time in to follow me along. And I've never ever asked this. This is my second season of doing kind of YouTube channel episodes. But I'm gonna ask this time, if you like it. So that means, you know, hit that little thumbs up thing if you like it. Maybe that'll help me. I'm not doing this for any financial gain, but hey, if I start to get a lot of likes, maybe I'll get more traffic. I'll start out on this episode answering a question because a couple of people asked why was the fur on the first coyote I got no good, and then, you know, as opposed to the next coyote where the fur was good. So again, I'm no expert, but what I do is I do follow Groenewold Wool and Fur Company, and they put out live YouTube shows where Mr. Gary Groenewold is traveling around the country buying fur, and he does some good commentary on, you know, why certain fur is higher priced or lower priced.
The saddest things is when you're at the truck and someone throws a coyote up there and you know how hard a coyote is to skin, and that coyote, you say, that has no commercial value. This is called a strip, and this is what coyotes are made into because they go around the collars like this and they go onto coats, okay? And they add value to coats.
Everybody gets excited when they catch a red coyote, a black coyote, but for our business, for the trimming business, where the coyotes are very popular, these have no value in the carcass. This is the worst thing we don't want to see once you come to the truck. As you see here, there's no guard hairs, and there's the underwools here, there's no guard hairs covering here. It's all matted down here, which a lot of times after dress, that will not come out. Once that's coyote's dress, that's there, and that will not look nice on a trim as well. It's unusable because you see it's open, the guard hairs are not filled. So that is what we consider a damaged coyote right there. More importantly than the color of a coyote anymore, the heft is the most important thing. Now the coyote is so in fashion, they want something as heavy as they can get it. Full, cushiony, there, that's considered a heavy coyote. And you see it all the way through it. It has no damage at all. The sides all the way covered. The belly's full. This one here could bring maybe $50 or $60 in the carcass, and this one is worth absolutely nothing.
I'm watching him turn people away. He's just saying, this coyote's worthless, sorry, I can't take it. You know, so he's giving them back to people. The first one I got was dark, and the fur was not thick. And the second one, that 36-pound female, was actually really well furred, nice and thick, and white highlights. And so I skinned that coyote, and we'll just see. If there's no value at the market, I might tan that for myself. It's a beautiful sunny day today, and it's nice and cold, which I really like because essentially I know my traps are working because they haven't gotten wet and they're not frozen in. And I'm just out here checking some of my bobcat walkthroughs. I'm hoping that I might get one more bobcat while we have a few days left, but who knows. I am meeting my environmental conservation officer today to seal my bobcats, and I will ask him if he would like to be on camera because I have some questions. I'm Mr. Questions, that's for sure, and maybe you would like some of the questions I want to ask. What do we have here? Oh, it's a hawk. Not a red tail. Can you hear that? Well, I told you I would share my successes and my failures. the last video was full of a lot of successes because, man, we were catching good. But in the last video, I also showed you where I had kind of a flat set for a bobcat where he's been walking on a little access road. And this morning I came in and saw that the trap is gone, and that is on a drag. Oh man, you know, that's exciting. So I was getting ready to start looking around and see where this might have gone. And there I look in the brush, and there is the trap, closed, with nothing in it. So failed on that one. I think it could be a deer. The good part to this is I do think my camera might show us what happened. Okay, well, that was a raccoon. It's actually kind of nice to know that we didn't miss a bobcat. So the raccoon got out. I'm sure he's happy on his way. But I have reset this now. And like I said, I got the trap right under here with all these clippings, and then there is some bobcat gland lure over here, and right underneath that log is some beaver caster. So little smells to stop and make them step around here. In the meantime, I have my fur bearer possession tag ready. So you're required as a trapper to fill this out as soon as you get to any mode of transportation once you've captured an animal. So I keep this on my ATV, fill one out, but then I have this clipboard in the shed that I transfer it to. So, hey everybody, I'm here with Officer Kevin Walmsley. He's the ECO, New York State Environmental Conservation Officer, and I believe you cover Dutchess County.
Yeah, Dutchess County and Ulster County as well.
Oh, you're
but I live in Dutchess County, so 99% of my time is spent in Dutchess County as well. So.
And how are the trappers doing in Dutchess County?
It's been okay. I mean, there's not a ton of them, honestly. There's not a ton of people out there trapping anymore, and it's we see a decent amount of bobcats. There's predator hunting is getting kind of big now.
Okay.
There's, as far as technology goes, like with the thermal scopes and night vision scopes,
Yeah,
like
infrared
predator
stuff.
hunting. Yeah,
I've got a little bit myself.
Yeah, the infrared is absolutely wild.
Yeah, actually, it's quite nice that trapping season for predator ends February 15th, but hunting of coyotes goes on till I think March.
Yeah, the end of March. Yeah, the end of March. Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
it goes on for quite a
Which is
quite a
interesting
bit.
because it goes right into their mating season. But I
Yeah.
guess because there's so many.
Exactly. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of coyotes. I've heard there's a lot of bobcats lately too.
Now, if you shoot bobcat hunting, do you have to have it sealed as well?
Yeah. No matter
Okay.
what, if to possess the seal, you have to do it within 10 days of the end of the season.
Right.
So-
And this is the seal. So
Yep,
right here are the seals, and I asked Kevin. Can I call you Kevin?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I asked Kevin what the seals are all about, and he was honest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of to keep track of them. It's anything that is, highly regulated, especially if it's going to be sold and things
Right.
like that. You have to, like the North American wildlife model, right? You don't want any commercialization of the wildlife because then it gets overused, and
All right.
that's why you can't sell venison that you shot out in the
Right.
woods and stuff. So it's just to kind of keep track of this type of stuff.
So the tag goes on beaver. Sorry,
No,
you were
not-
telling me
not-
that.
not beaver,
He was
yeah, not
actually
beaver.
telling me. So it's on bobcat, otter, upstate martin,
Yup,
and
Martin.
fisher.
Yup,
So I got a
Fisher.
fisher
Mhm.
yesterday, by the way, released obviously.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Or
Nice.
a day before yesterday.
Yeah, they've
But
been popping up quite a bit too lately.
There's quite a few. I didn't. Those are my fisher boxes, which I
Yeah.
didn't get any during the season this year.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah, Ulster County seems to have a decent amount of them.
my
We're
friends
definitely
over there are
starting to-
getting them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My parents have some property in the Catskills, and they see them all the time up there.
Really?
I've seen them deer hunt over there. Just they run right by you, and it's there's definitely starting to be a few more over here. I've
Yeah.
been seeing some more trail camera pictures.
Yeah,
And stuff
I
like
took
that.
I took a trapping seminar in the fall, and one of our classmates who ended up teaching a little bit was a New York State wildlife biologist.
Okay, gotcha.
And they did a study a few years back, which I participated in, catching fisher and then bringing the carcasses into you
Yep.
guys to the scientists,
Yeah, yeah.
biologists,
Mhm.
and they studied the whole state, and it was really interesting. He showed us the results of like how well they're doing.
Yeah.
Like they're really.
Oh yeah.
they're
Was that
everywhere.
the study where they were checking the ovaries to see how many
I don't know.
litters they had? I remember they were doing something.
They
like
were doing
that.
a lot. One piece that he told us about was checking the poisons, like household poisons. That
Okay,
might
gotcha.
be in their systems,
Mhm.
and actually they did find rat poison,
Really?
like a level of rat poison in these wild
Interesting.
animals. But
Jeez.
but the main thing was to see how the population was doing, so that they could possibly regulate or deregulate some of our trapping.
Okay.
And we're one of the few states, by the way, that we have no bag limit on fisher. We just have a short season, but no bag limit. And you were telling me that beaver used to have to be tagged.
Yeah, beaver. Yeah, they used to. I think I'm not 100% on it, but from what I understand, like you used to be able to get like one a season or something like that back when they were, you know, not doing too well. And now, you know, you see you can get beaver permits pretty readily these days with nuisance beavers and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
a lot of I have a couple of calls already, and I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not an animal control person, but they know I trap,
Exactly.
so they call me. And
Yep,
say,
yeah, exactly.
There are
During the
beavers.
season, if you just have the trapping license, you're good. But like anything out of season, you'd have to have your NUCO license, or if you're, you know, collecting a fee for it, you can. Some people just like to go in and trap them, and then they can sell the furs.
Yeah.
But if you're collecting like any type of money for your services, you'd have to have a nuisance wildlife control operator license, and that's a separate test where you can,
Right.
you know, trap all year and
Maybe
stuff like
be
that.
my retirement thing.
Not a
who
bad
knows?
plan. Yeah, exactly.
So welcome to Trapline Talk, Officer Kevin. This is so. What are you going to do to put the seals on?
Yeah, so basically I'm just gonna grab your the fur bearer possession tag here that you filled out, and then I write the seal numbers over here, and then the paper comes with me. And these are basically like almost like, I don't want to say like zip ties, but once you clip them, they don't come unclipped unless
Right.
they're cut. So in order to, you know, sell these furs or get them mounted, bring them to the taxidermist, they have to have these seals with them. The taxidermist won't accept them if they
Right.
don't have the seals.
This one's
so.
going to taxidermy, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
these three are another trapper's actually buying them from me because
Very
he's
cool.
trying to get a collection up. I guess
Yeah.
he's got a quota to meet or something. so.
Okay, wow, nice, good for him. That's cool. Yeah, I know that like the belly spots are pretty
Yeah.
sought after, from what I understand. But-
Yeah, they're looking for white fur with, you know, clear spots, and
Mhm.
unfortunately our Hudson Valley cats are not pretty like Western cats.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
I think they call this mushy when it's like not too
Okay.
not too distinct. But the male here is pretty nice actually.
Yeah, that's a good one for sure. I shot a 30-pound male. It was like a week and a half ago.
You shot a 30-pound male bobcat.
Yeah, it was great.
Night
yeah.
vision.
Oh, it was a thermal. Yeah,
And
thermal.
were you calling or baiting?
Calling, yeah. It was the rabbit distress, one of the rabbit
Yeah.
distress calls, and
Yeah.
we found that like it's like 13 to 15 minutes is usually when they start making their way, and it's been that
Right.
way with coyotes. Like we're just kind of figuring it out,
Yeah.
but you know, when we go out and call, you start to get discouraged, and you're like, I don't know if this is gonna
Yeah.
work.
So
out."
you mean after like 15 minutes or so, it's like get to another spot.
We'll usually give it 20.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
but
not-
it seems to be like that first 10 minutes when you first turn the call on, you know, you're amped up. You're like, all right, they're
Yeah.
coming, and then you
Yeah.
don't see anything. You scan, and then it
Yeah.
seems to be like, you know, after 10 minutes they kind of get that,
Yeah.
and I'm sure they're looking from a distance, seeing if everything the coast is clear, and
Yeah, well,
with
just
the-
like with trapping, if they're getting pressure, they smarten up.
oh, 100%.
So
yeah,
you know
Yeah,
they're
they don't-
they can be very
Exactly.
educated to the calls and
Mhm, and then once they smell something,
Yeah.
they don't
Yeah.
even think twice.
yeah. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So we'll get sealed up and thank the officer for coming by. We have a few more days, so I might be calling him back if
Yeah,
I
that's fine.
get
Whatever you
another
need.
bobcat. But I got a bunch of cubby sets out on the farms here.
Nice, very cool. Yeah, we'll get this filled out, and then yeah, that's basically it. We'll put them through the eyelets. I have some wire ties in the car. That way you don't lose it, because like I've had that call where they're like the seals fell
It's
off
gone.
or something, and I'm like, okay. So
Yeah.
I just make sure, you know, you got to make sure it's with the cat. So.
But the taxidermist obviously can take it off. Right?
Yup,
It's
yeah, and
just-
then usually they'll like incorporate it into like if they make like the habitat that it's on, sometimes they'll just staple it to the bottom of it.
So it's
that
staying
way it's,
with the fur.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yep, yeah, I've seen them, they'll put it on the backside. If it's like a wall hanging mount, they'll staple it on the backside or staple it to the bottom of the mount.
So, but for example, if these are going to garments, which they most likely are, then it's somehow gonna...
Yeah, by the time, I think when it's prepared for, like, use...
When it's tanned and
exactly,
then,
I'm sure they take it off before it's tanned and they just retain their records of, if you go to a taxidermist, I don't expect the tag to be on the head the whole time. I understand that they have to do work to it, but they just have to record it, record everything. They usually have like a little book that we can go through and just check everything.
In case anything had to be traced. It's like elephant tusk or something, everything, there's a whole another police force that's like trying to make sure that there's not illegal wild things coming through.
We handle that.
You do?
Yeah, as far as like ivory sales and stuff like that, we handle all that. A couple of my friends that work in the city, they make a lot of big ivory cases down there.
Holy cow.
Just like the illegal commercialization, it's illegal to sell it here, so they'll get a lot of stuff. New York City's a hub, so they, get a lot of different entryways for that type of thing, and they kind of go and do all kinds of different stuff to make cases on the illegal sale of ivory.
That's amazing. So let me ask another question. How long have you been doing this?
7 years.
7 years.
Yep.
And you went to school for...
Yeah, this was always my dream job. So
it's a lot of us have the same dream job.
A lot of people I talk to, they're like, I should have done that. I should have done that.
Work outside. I'm a Boy Scout leader, and I have about 3 Boy Scouts that are going to school to do it.
Okay, gotcha.
They did all that outdoor stuff.
That was my thing too. I used to read the Conservationist magazine when I was a little kid, and they'd always have like the ECOs on patrol, and my mom would always make me read it out loud to practice. So like I would always go through it, and I'm like, this seems great. And then my whole schooling, college, I went to Columbia Green Community College, and then I transferred to SUNY ESF up in Syracuse. So
nice.
Yep, went there.
We're glad you got. And are you originally from this area?
I grew up in Ulster County.
Okay.
So I grew up in Saugerties over there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So because I know sometimes you guys might get assigned to the Bronx or something.
Oh yeah, I luckily I scored well on the civil service exam, so I only did like a month and a half in the city. So I covered Queens County for a while.
Yeah, that's
then I covered
man.
Putnam. Yeah. The work is actually the work is actually a lot of fun. There's a lot of marine fishing. There's more like we regulate the heavy duty diesel vehicles and any of that type of pollution, air pollution, water pollution. You stay very busy, very very busy down there. There's always something to do, and the illegal commercialization is big down there. So
this is so interesting. I could have you on Trapline Talk again, but I want to let you do your thing and get on your way. But I do have one more question. What would be your what would you want to tell us trappers from your perspective of supporting the law, or I don't know, when you see a trapper and you're like out in the woods, and what are you going to check? What are you going to tell them?
Yeah, so basically like a typical trapping check is we'll approach you. Some people you get nervous, and we totally understand that. We get it. But you just be ready for us to check your license. We're going to check your license. If you have any traps with you, make sure they're tagged. That's a big one. A lot of traps, that's probably one of the bigger things that we come into a violation.
So what he's talking about is this little brass tag. So in New York State, you can either have your name and address or just your license number.
You can have your license number, because we can run that through our system, and as long as we can find out who the trap belongs to, that's basically what it comes down to. We have to know whose traps they are. We've had a few different things with untagged traps, and then typically we still find out whose they are, and we're able to make contact with them. Exactly. And then at least for me, honesty is a big thing. Just be honest with with any of the questions I'm asking you. like I said, I get it. People get nervous, but
Yeah.
honesty is definitely
Yeah, well,
a big thing.
I invited a policeman to my house. So you can be a little bit nervous because he's here in my fur shed looking at my stuff.
Yep, exactly.
I read the book and I try to memorize all the laws and the dates. And
exactly.
My trapping teacher for the state told me just take the syllabus with you, when you go trapping, so you can just, because there's so many rules and regulations and things change from year to year.
Yeah,
so.
and now you can have it right on your phone, which is they have the there's the Hunt Fish New York app. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Yeah.
When they first came out with it, I'll admit it wasn't great, but they've done a lot of work to it, and honestly, you can go right into the regulations. You can pull them right up. It basically has like in your book, how it has like the picture of the state and the different areas where it's open.
Yeah.
It has all those, and you can even report your big game takes or your turkey takes on there. So
Awesome.
it's streamlined a lot.
Yeah, I'll admit I haven't checked it out since, so I'll have to check that out.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
great.
I recommend it for sure. It kind of simplifies it that way. If you're, if you have to report either your deer, your bear, your turkey take within 7 days.
Yeah.
So you just pop that up and report it. Make sure that gets
Yeah,
reported.
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's super
Technology
easy on
is,
there. Oh yeah.
Helping.
Yeah, it's
helping
come
the
a long
hunters.
way.
Yeah.
Absolutely, definitely.
Cool.
That's for sure.
All right, well, I'm going to turn the camera off now, but thanks again for talking
absolutely.
to us.
My
and
pleasure. No,
maybe
definitely.
we'll have you back before the 15th. Who
Yeah,
knows?
hope for some more bobcats.
Holy cow. So Kevin just left. What a super nice guy. We ended up actually talking for at least 45 minutes after I turned the camera off, and lots of stories and very interesting. He's actually a hunter and a trapper himself. So he said that the biggest bobcat he has ever seen was 38.5 pounds. So we took my male bobcat and reweighed it. 41.2. I don't know how that happened, or if I got the weight wrong the first time, maybe with my big boots on, but we weighed it, and my male bobcat was 41.2 pounds. So he was shocked. It's the biggest bobcat he's ever seen in 7 years of police work and a lifetime of outdoor sporting. Morning, everybody. Trapper Dan here out on the Trapline. Wow, that was a nice talk with our environmental conservation officer. Nothing in the sets here today. So yeah, trappers snore, don't they? You hear this all the time. Sustainable, natural, organic, and renewable resource. Have a great one, everybody, and we'll catch you on the next one.